Hi, folks. Um, I'm Sara Parks, and I'm Assistant Professor in Biblical Studies in the School of Theology, Philosophy, and Music. And I requested and was given a little bit of teaching and learning funding this past year for a proposal I called Gamifying the Ancient Language Classroom. And I was going to come talk about it when we had this teaching and learning day, but it fell at the exact same time as a conference I was already registered for. And so I thought, but I can still participate if I just make a short video. So I can still at least share with you a little bit about what my project was. So gamification, we've all heard of it. It's a hot buzzword, and you can read lots about it, but at the end of the day, it's very simple. It's just the belief that people learn better when they're having an enjoyable time. And that is just common sense. So particularly challenging for students to have a good time is the quote unquote dead language classroom, right? I mean, probably many of you have experience with it. Latin, Greek, classical Arabic, Hebrew, Syriac, Coptic, these languages that are required for things like classics and biblical studies, Islamic studies, etc. They're famous for having half or maybe even more than half of the students in a particular module fail or drop out. Why? Because it's nothing but memorizing charts of endings. And you can't even really practice the language by like listening to a movie or whatever in the language because they're not spoken anymore. So, but I struggled so much when I was required to take Greek, Hebrew, Latin, etc., Aramaic for my degree. I actually failed the first dead language class I took, Latin, because I fell behind in all the memorizing. You know, undergrads have some extracurricular activities going on. They're new at time management. They have a bunch of other modules. They're learning how to write essays and memorizing hundreds of new words per week in a grammar that's not like your own is really tough. And so when I began several years ago to start teaching Greek, I vowed that my classroom would be fun. And before I knew the word gamification, I just tried to make a classroom that I had wanted when I was a student. And what that looks like is teaching the same material many different ways. You cannot learn a language by hearing the professor boringly read from the textbook one time and then going home and memorizing it. You have to practice it, and to gamify it, I just play a lot of games, and they take prep, but they are so worth it because students are sailing through, having a good time, and no longer are dead languages in my classroom painful. They do take work, but it's generally a joyous experience. What are some of the games? It's old-fashioned, old-school games such as bingo. There are many websites for school teachers of children that will generate crossword puzzles, bingo, flashcards, word searches, and all that type of thing. I use them all. I particularly enjoy bingo because I type in English words and definitions, but I make my calling card in Greek. So I'm saying a Greek word and they have to find the English on their bingo chart. It's testing their skill because they have to know the word, but it's also an element of luck because the cards are all different. So maybe they might know it, but they don't have it. And when you're gamifying the classroom, that is really important. Some of the games need to test skill, but not all. because there will inevitably be some that are slower than others, and they'll never be winning and they'll be demotivated. But if some of the games are just luck, that spreads it out so everybody eventually gets a prize. Also, some of the games should be individual and others should be team, so that those who are behind the others could still get a prize because their team wins. And what are the prizes? This is what I spent some of the money on. Snacks, treats, candies, mini chocolate bars, but also healthy stuff. You'd be surprised how many students go for a granola bar over a chocolate bar, or go for like an instant soup package or something other than a bag of candy. But yeah, so little fun prizes. But the other type of prize I give alternatingly is a prize that reinforces the material. So I make, you can get business cards that are magnets. You put your own information on them. So I just upload a photo of, say, their noun chart or a verb chart or something that they're learning that week. So they have a magnet of what they're memorizing. I've also made a mouse pad with the Greek alphabet on it. You can make mugs, t-shirts, all these kinds of things. You can make like sort of fancier prizes that are more cumulative, like a team is working toward winning many games so that at the end their whole team or one individual gets a bigger prize. So this year I did a memorization challenge, and the bigger prizes for those were, they didn't know what they were working towards, but I set a very special prize. And it was actually, I gave them the Beatitudes in Greek, which is the sayings of Jesus that are like, blessed are the poor, blessed are the meek, blessed are the, etc. And they memorized that in Greek, and the prize was a mug that I had the Greek text on that they had memorized, so that after they go away, they might keep up their memory of that passage. So anyway, it's a pretty simple concept, but and you don't need a lot of prep for these games. Like sometimes I just have flashcards that have the English and the Greek, and I just hand them out, and students just take a few minutes to test each other. If the person gets it right, they keep the card. If they get it wrong, the asker keeps the card. Whoever wins is who has the most cards at the end or when the timer goes off. So yeah, it can be simple. So that's what I have to say. Thank you very much for the teaching and learning funding. It is all about helping students just have an enjoyable time in addition to the hard work that they need to do. So have a wonderful day today, and bye for now.